The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent in a really magnificent area that nobody would know. Nobody can look because all they see is death and destruction and rubble and demolished buildings falling all over. It's just a terrible sight. I envision a world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But they've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History has, you just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
All right. So a couple of days ago, Donald J. Trump, the 47th president of the United States of America, made a speech saying that the U.S. is going to buy Gaza.
I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. Other people may do it through our auspices. But we're committed to owning it, taking it, and making sure that Hamas doesn't move back.
That was his word. And after saying that, he sparked a lot of reactions from leaders all over the world, especially leaders from the Middle East. Some are crying, saying, oh, come on, this is unfair, this is unfair. Now, Trump made this speech after the Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited him. Yes, Trump made that speech. However, in one of Trump's speech again, when journalists were asking him questions, one of the journalists asked him, sir, you say you are going to buy Gaza? Trump said, no, there is nothing to buy. We are going to own Gaza.
Mr. President, you said before that the U.S. would buy Gaza, and today you just said we're not going to buy Gaza.
We're not going to have to buy. We're going to have Gaza. We don't have to buy. There's nothing to buy. We will have Gaza.
What does that mean?
No reason to buy. There is nothing to buy. It's Gaza. It's a war-torn area. We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it.
This has also sparked reactions from all over the world. Leaders from all over the world, of course. Now, if you remember, in one of my previous videos, I showed you a video where Trump made a speech saying that the U.S. has cut off funding to South Africa.
Donald Trump has signed an executive order to cut nearly $440 million of financial assistance to South Africa. The order cites disapproval of South Africa's land policy and its genocide case at the International Court of Justice against Washington's ally, Israel. Not just this, it also provides for resettlement in the U.S. of Afrikaners in South Africa as refugees, who it says are victims of unjust racial discrimination. Afrikaners are mostly white descendants of early Dutch and French settlers who own most of the country's farmland. However, even the pro-Afrikaner groups, which lobbied Trump's previous administration on their cause, have rejected Trump's offer and have said they do not want to move.
Now, what is the issue between Donald Trump and the South African president? The issue of land.
Things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, with horrible things. So That's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. They're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
Now, a lot of people has come out and started asking questions. What is wrong with Trump with land and territories? What is happening to Trump? What is he trying to tell us? If you remember that the war between Ukraine and Russia is still on today because of territorial dispute. I hope you know it is because of land. Russia is saying this place is part of our place. Ukrainians say no. The Ukrainians say no, this is our land, this is our place. And that is what has caused the war for years now up to today. Now Trump is coming again with so many issues of we will take over here, we will sanction you if you don't give us this land, we do this, we do that. Anyways, I don't know, let me not say his mind, I don't know his intentions for all this he's doing. But you watching this video, if you know, you can drop it on the comment section, or you can also drop what you think about this whole thing. Now I'm going to show you a video. In this video is the analysis of all this that Trump is doing, because a lot of people are not really happy with it, and some has taken it to radio and TV stations. Now I'm going to allow you to watch this and hear what these journalists say, because I tell you, as it depends on people, and so some people they rejoice. So I don't know where you belong. It depends you, I be you they rejoice. Now please take time to watch this video. And in case you are coming across my channel for the first time, you are welcome. I tell you, on this channel I give you information of everything that is happening in Nigeria and things that are happening outside Nigeria. All right, so please do well to subscribe to this channel, and as you are subscribing, turn on your notification button so that anytime I upload a video you can easily get it and watch it. All right, but for now let me allow you to watch this and also drop your comment on the comment section. All right, now watch this.
Trump keeps saying Gaza is devastated bomb. Which bomb did they use to bomb Gaza? Was it an American bomb? Who gave Israel most of the money to decimate Gaza? Who started this level of unfairness? Was it not the Americans and the British that started all of this madness when they had a Balfour Declaration? What happened in the end? What happened to the occupation? What happened to 1948? What happened to the Yom Kippur Wars? Was it not America's support all this while? What happened, you know, the prowess of the likes of Moshe Dayan? Wasn't it Americans that were pumping them with money? Wasn't it the American deep state that helped them build all of this?
Yeah.
So Trump now saying this, that they have destroyed and now they want to chase those people off their land, is American manipulation, and it will be on record the blood of Americans' hand in this century, just like they also want to do with South Africa. So the question is, in Trump's expansionist theory, who is going to be next? Because we don't know if the world is safe. At first it was Greenland, then Panama, now then Gaza Riviera, then South Africa. Who is going to be next? Probably Nigeria, Uganda, Equatorial Guinea. He wants to take over the world. And guess what this reminds me of? Adolf Hitler. That was how Hitler started. Hitler first started with Sudetenland. He said, oh, give me Sudetenland, I wouldn't cry any longer. Guess what? Neville Chamberlain said, let's give him everything to make peace. But Hitler went further from Sudetenland. He occupied Poland. Then he started. Then he said, let's go to parts of Africa. Then he talked about Operation Barbarossa. And Hitler continued, kept on occupying, until the Allied forces pushed him back at the beach of Normandy, and they said enough of all of this. And guess what? He had allies that did it with him, the likes of Benito Mussolini.
All right.
So we will not forget history. Like I said before, it is either Trump starts the Third World War or he makes the conditions rife for the Third World War.
Yeah, it does appear like some sort of takeover. I mean, this is not the only conversation we've heard from Trump. But let me take Lindy Bachi's tweet. She wrote, because he's always talking about making America great, the only way this plan can be called America First is if Gaza and surrounding areas, to accommodate all the Palestinians, is made the 51st state. Then they have a safe and permanent home where they have lived since the time of Jesus, and the Israeli people have a good neighbor. I mean, I thought that tweet was actually, quite commendable. I'm still trying to find some comments from our amazing YouTube viewers and some of their, comments. I mean, I'm seeing people saying Trump go after them. I don't even know what that means at this point. But we know that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has issued an official statement through its foreign ministry reaffirming its unwavering support for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. The statement is in direct response to President Trump's proposal to take over and economically develop the Gaza Strip. Dr. Bati, comment from you while I read to see if there are any other comments.
I said before that Trump is a real estate developer or a former real estate developer. Hence this interest in land grabbing in Gaza. Second, this is a project of ethnic cleansing. Third, this is against the two-state solution that has been proposed by countries like Saudi Arabia and other countries. Even the United States, under Biden, didn't oppose the two-state solution that has been on the table since the year 2000. It's only Israel and Iran that is opposed to the two-state solution. Now, you mentioned Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, yes, has objected to this plan to further demolish the demolition site in Gaza. Trump thinking that he has common sense. He says, after all, it's a demolition site. We will send American soldiers there if necessary to go and clean up the place, and we'll relocate the Palestinians. Now, Saudi Arabia says no, they're not going to take in, the Palestinians. Also, Egypt and Jordan, which as part of the hostage agreement release for ceasefire deal, had been asked to take in the people of Gaza. Those two countries have also said no. So the implication of what Saudi Arabia is saying, what Jordan is saying, what Egypt is saying, is that Trump's proposal is going to have implications for the relationship between Israel and the Arab Gulf states. So he's saying, oh, this will promote peace in the Middle East. It's completely delusional. It's very wrong. It's not going to promote peace. Now, he says when Gaza is turned to a beautiful place, even Palestinians can live there. Well, Palestinians are saying that this will be a repeat of Nakba, the catastrophe of 1948, with the creation of the state of Israel, which they have never accepted till today. And they say it's their homeland, and they are not going to leave that, Greater Palestine region. So it's an emotional thing for the people living in that Gaza Strip and Palestinians generally. Now, Trump, I said, may be playing a game, what is called the art of the deal, thinking that if he pushes the envelope to the extreme, then people will be forced to negotiate with him. As you have seen in the example of Mexico and Canada. And as we hope, or he hopes, you will see with the example of the EU and also China. Finally, Netanyahu is happy, obviously happy, because he's been having problems back home with the hardliners, with the far right in Israel. Persons who do not believe Israel can exist with any state called Palestine within that territory. But will they be able to get this through? I think the international community, should be again anxious about this land grabber, this disruptor of the global order called Donald Trump, who wants to disrupt everything from North America to EU he has gone to South Africa. One man, turning American foreign policy process on his head and claiming that it's America first.
Right.
Obviously, he has more ambitions beyond making America or placing America first in the international order.
Well, after that press conference, there was another in the White House where a journalist asked him again, and he reiterated that how can the Palestinians not want to leave? How can they, continue to stay, because it's going to happen all over and all over again. Let's take a comment, I believe, from someone called Emmanuel Akego on our YouTube live stream, and the person wrote, Trump is correct. You cannot continue one thing over and over again without, I guess, resolve, not change the style and pattern. This is what Trump is suggesting. God bless Trump. What do you make of that actual comment?
Well, I mean, like you mentioned, there'll always be two sides of the divide. There are some people who are firmly in support of Trump and Trump's agenda, especially people who feel that other nations should emulate Trump in his America First agenda. And then, of course, when we talk about the Israel-Palestinian fight or crisis for decades and decades, it's also been very contentious. What currently subsists is a two-state solution. So Trump again has come in with almost like a one stick to respond to many of the world issues, has just come out with this comment that has largely been termed as insensitive, especially to the people who feel not just a right to the land, but has been said an emotional connection. This is what they fought for. Some of their ancestors have died here, and to just think that a quick comment around let's make it better for you, you'd rather live somewhere else, I think it's a bit presumptuous, it's very presumptuous of him, and say what you may, it is overreaching. But let's see what would happen in the end. As you mentioned, you saw the Israeli Prime Minister looking quite pleased with himself with this Trump announcement, and of course they've been allies even before he won the election. I don't think the Palestinians will take this line. Let's see how Trump is going to achieve this particular announcement with regards to Gaza takeover.
All right, let me take another comment from our YouTube viewer. This person is Marshall Ocon. He wrote, "It's worth nothing that any attempt by the United States to take over Gaza will be a highly complex and contentious issue involving geopolitical, diplomatic, and humanitarian considerations." Well, thank you guys for sharing your views on this topic.
And that's big trouble for them.
You've said a lot about South Africa in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's hosting the G20 summit this year. Are you planning to attend this, or are you skipping it and telling your cabinet to not?
Well, we'll see what happens, but the South African situation is very, very dangerous and very bad for a lot of people. There's tremendously bad things going on, including the confiscation of property, and worse, much worse than that. You know what I'm talking about. And we're not making any payment until we find out what's going on in South Africa. Yes, please.
And we've been saying over this issue of the land, this issue that Donald Trump fears so much, we offer this question of the land. I don't know what Donald Trump has to do with South African land, because he's never been here. And he must keep his America, we will keep our South Africa. That is what he must do. South Africa is our land. South Africa belongs to all the people who live here in South Africa. It does not belong to Donald Trump. He can keep his America. And Ene is even worse. He is even worse. When I meet him, I will tell him. I will say, you, Donald Trump, you are even worse, because your forebears came to America. They found the indigenous Americans. They wiped them out. They killed nearly all of them. Rene, we are living as a nation, and black and white, we are going to find solutions for our land question. So Donald Trump must leave us alone. He must leave us alone, Maori. When we were facing apartheid, when we were facing oppression, he was not here. He did not fight side by side with us. And we were able, on our own, yes, with support of progressive forces in the world, to resolve the apartheid question. As far as I recall, Donald Trump was not around the negotiating table when we negotiated the end of apartheid. So stick around there in the White House. We will do our business here, and we will find solutions for our problem. So stay out of our issues, and we will not get involved in your issues in America. You have your own problems. Leave us alone. We are sitting now around the table.
All right. So what is your thoughts? Drop your comment on the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much, and God bless you.